Hi, welcome to What the Fork Am I Doing? I'm Todd Phillips. This is my little cooking show where I kind of just whip something up, and it's usually really simple, really easy to follow. And yeah, so this is episode 2. I'm going to be making Todds Pot Pie. Alright, hope you enjoy it. So, for this episode for Todds Pot Pie, we're going to be using one package of frozen, this is just green peas and diced carrots. You can get ones with other stuff in it, I just picked that up. We're going to be using 1 can of cream of chicken. We're going to be using, I don't know, this much boneless, skinless chicken breast, eggs, milk, and handy dandy bisquick. That's right, we're going to be using pancake mix for this. So this episode is really simple, it's really easy to do, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Alright, let's get started. Now, something I didn't show you guys last week, I did do this last week, I just didn't show it, is before you start doing anything in the kitchen, before you start doing anything, very first thing you should do, wash your hands. Use plenty of soap, get some good hot water in there. You don't want any of that funky, nasty stuff getting in your food. So, no matter what, first step, always get clean. Alright, so first thing we want to do is we are going to cook up the chicken. So I'm just going to take a little bit of olive oil, something kind of like that, why not? I mean, you could use like pretty much any oil. This is just kind of get it really nice and coated. I don't know. Alright, let me get my chicken. So, I'm going to give the olive oil just a few seconds to kind of finalize, get all, so it's all done. Alright. Okay, so olive oil is heating up. Now there's a lot of different ways you can cook chicken. The way I'm cooking it, and since we're cooking pot pie, we want to make sure that the pieces are small enough where you can just, bite them so you're not eating to this whole strip. So a really easy way to kind of just cube chicken like this, you just kind of just cut it up, I mean, you could cook it beforehand and then cut it up afterward. It's definitely fine if you want to do it that way. Go for it. It seems easy to me. I like it. It's kind of my method. It's kind of fun. I feel like I'm doing arts and crafts too, So I just put the chicken in the pan and got it cooking. Now here's a very important thing. When you handle raw meat, whether it is chicken, beef, pork, whatever it is, you gotta wash your hands again. It is super important. Also, any utensils you use, like you said, you got the scissors right there. They're not really touching anything, so they're fine. But those go straight in the sink. You don't reuse them for anything. If you use a plate, you don't use that plate without washing it. So every time you handle anything raw, just make sure you clean your hands, you wash them, and you clean anything you use at the same time. Alright? Now, there's many ways you can cook chicken. You can cook chicken like this. This is called pan fried. Just kind of stick some oil in there and just kind of cook it up. That's one way. Another way you can do it, and I cut it up beforehand. You could easily just cook the whole chicken breast or whatever it is you're cooking, and then cut up in pieces afterwards, stick it in. You could, what else? You can grill it, barbecue, and that's always good. Straight barbecue chicken, maybe cut it up afterward. There's always baking in. You can, toss it. Sometimes you can pan fry it and then bake it, or just straight bake it. It's a good way. I've even done crock pot. So there's a lot of different ways you can cook chicken. I'm just doing this because, well, you can see it and it's kind of quick and easy. So, I've used some olive oil. It's not much. Anything else you can do? Well, you know what goes good with everything? Just a little salt. Some sea salt and you know what? Black pepper. We're not going to be tasting a whole ton of this because we'll also be putting in pot pie. But you know what? Pepper goes great with everything, and it's the wonder seasoning. Now, I used chicken today. Chicken pot pie is pretty standard, pretty American. But you can easily use, turkey. Turkey is great in pot pies. But really, you can do anything. I've seen people do sausage pot pies. I've seen people do salmon pot pies. You can totally do those. Steak pot pie is great. Cut up some steak into good chunks. That's also wonderful. Pretty much anything, any kind of meat you want to throw in it, whatever, it's a pot pie. So I just did chicken because it's what I had on hand, and it's pretty easy, it's pretty good, and so yeah. So we're just continue on pan frying these. There's not a huge secret with this. This is pretty straightforward. It's make sure it's cooked all the way through. Just like, remember with the ground beef, make sure it goes from red to brown. Well, with chicken's a little different. It starts off kind of pinkish, and you want to make sure it turns white, kind of opaque, and then it's done. Chicken also takes longer than steak or just beef in general, so we might be here, this might take up to close to like 15, possibly 20 minutes, depending on how high I have it, how much chicken is in there, and everything like that. But make sure that you cook it all the way through. Cooking all the way through is always super important. And yeah. So chicken's just about done. And one thing I totally forgot to do. It's okay. We got plenty of time. Is since we're making a pot pie, we want to preheat the oven. Remember that? Just turn the oven. Turn the oven to 400, and yeah, it should be preheated by the time we got everything else mixed up and done. Alright, so this chicken looks pretty much done. Now, I might have overcooked it just because I'm paranoid about having raw chicken. But if you ever wonder about it, just go look online. How to cook pan-fried chicken. Yeah, simple. Alright, so I'm going to take this and we'll get started on the rest of the next steps. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to make the topping for the pot pie, and then we'll just kind of start throwing everything in, and we'll stick it in the oven. So, first off, we're going to take our pancake mix. And we're going to take a cup, and I'm going to go the extra mile. I'm going to do kind of a little bit more. So I'm going to do a cup and a half of pancake mix. Most recipes call ask for one, but I don't know. I like a lot, as you can tell. I'm a Phillips. You kind of do things Phillips style, so when 1 cup of chicken is good, then like a pound must be better, right? Anyways, so we're going to just add 1 egg here. Toss it away. Like I said, handling something raw. Let's, wash up just a little bit. You really don't want to be touching a whole ton of raw stuff and not washing your hands, because then you just get icky. Alright, I'm going to add 3/4 cup of milk to this mixture. For this, you could probably take like a whisk or something else. I'm just taking a standard fork, mixing it up. So I like mixing it up sometimes. I'm a mixer. Now this pot pie isn't going to be like those ring calendar ones you get. It's not going to have the shell and everything else. We're just doing the topping. Like I said, this is a really easy recipe, and so we're just going to keep it simple. Alright, so now I think we're ready to start mixing some of this. Actually, you know what? get that chicken in there. Good. Now I'm using just peas and carrots, but you can really use, well, whatever vegetables you want. If you want to add some onion, you can put some onion in there. If you want to use, I don't know, whatever you want. If you want to cut up some, not cut up, but yeah, cut up some, or cube some potatoes. Those would go really well in a pot pie. You can grab, I don't know, whatever. If you want to do like whole carrots, you want to do, you know, I don't know, broccoli, if you're into that kind of thing. Not that there's anything wrong with broccoli. I like broccoli. You can really put whatever you want. It's your pot pie. Now, you can actually also get pre-cooked chicken. Just like is in the freezer. It's pre-cooked. It's really nice and easy. That is great. And you could probably use it even with this. You could probably actually just keep it frozen. Maybe just cook it a little bit longer in the oven. But yeah, so you could easily do that. So now that I got my peas, my carrots, and chicken inside, I'm going to add my can. So this cream of chicken, if you want to do like a vegetarian pot pie, maybe get some mushrooms or something like that, you can easily get like a cream of mushroom soup can, or a cream of celery, you know, something like that. And this is just your simple Campbell's, whatever brand it is, just cream of chicken soup. I'm not going to mix the soup with anything, just use it like this. And this will help, essentially just that pot pie filling. And now just comes the mixing. Like I said, I'm good at mixing. I like mixing. So one thing you could do, I opted not to, is I'm mixing this all just in my pie tin. You could have mixed it in a bowl separately and then pour it all in this. I'm just, you know, I want to do as little amount of dishes as I possibly can. Oh, like I totally forgot to mention, this is just a standard 9-inch pie tin. Well, it's not tin, but just a Pyrex. You can use a tin one, a tin foil one if you wanted to. Oh, hey, 3 years done. Told you we had plenty of time. Alright, so I'm just kind of going to spread this out. Like so. Alright. Whatever, I'll clean it later. So I'm going to take that pancake mix. Alright. Just going to spread it over. Just making that topping, that kind of standard, you know, hey, I'm eating a pot pie kind of topping. So, just kind of pour it on top there. Make sure it's spread all over. That's good. Something like that. Alright, I think it's ready to go in the oven. So, let's put it in. Already got, now you don't want to put this directly in case anything falls over and you don't want it to burn. So make sure you put just a cookie sheet down and place it right on top. Alright, so we're going to next take our fancy dancy egg timer, if you remember him from last time, and we're going to set it 30 minutes. Hey. Ding means it's done. Alright, let's get some pot holders here. That looks tasty. Alright. So make sure you turn the oven off. Always remember to turn the oven off. Alright, we're just going to let this sit. Smells wonderful, but we're going to let it sit for a while, cool down, and then we'll see how it tastes. Alright. Let's see how this tastes. I'm just going to cut myself. Just in small pieces. And like I said, you know, you can really put just about anything you want into this. I made mine really simple, but you could easily add, you know, like I said, you could add some potatoes, some onions, bigger carrot. You could do like, you know, baby carrots. You could do pretty much anything you want. But It's really simple, really easy, and yeah, that's my really easy, simple Todd's simple, easy pot pie. Yeah. That's good. Mm. Well, that's Todd's Easy Pot Pie. Thank you for joining me, and hope to see you next week.